Yes, by popular demand. Yeah. Yeah.
We're rocking with the legendary Johnny Britt.
Johnny Britt.
What's up, baby?
Man, what's happening, Cedric? What's happening, cats?
What up?
Man, we doing all right. Man, how you been doing, Johnny?
Man, thank y'all. First of all, thank y'all so much for having me. One more again. Y'all just treat me so good, having me back in the building and just giving me all kind of love, even before my new album even drops, because it don't drop until March 17th. But y'all got me here. Give me all the love and shoot. What can I say? I'm just so happy, bro.
Hey, man. We happy to have you. I know you got this new single, Butterflies, with our main man, Will Downing.
Yes,
both of y'all
yes,
trying to drive the ladies crazy, man. Y'all trying to have things out here going just straight crazy.
Man.
It's a beautiful love song, man. It's almost,
it's a hit.
To me, it's like the wedding song of the summer coming up.
Man. Man, I really do appreciate that. And of course, I want to give a really big shout out and a thank you to Brother Will. Brother Will Downing is like, he's just a man of his word. The way this whole thing came about with Butterflies was I have my own radio show. It's called The Turntable with Johnny Britt. It's on a London-based radio station, Solar Radio. I come on every Sunday at 4:00 Pacific Standard Time, right? So on the show, we basically, I interview celebrity guests. I do like the first half music, second half celebrity guests, and Will was one of my guests on one of the episodes. And at the end of the episodes, I said, Will, I'm gonna write a song for us. I want to do a duet with you for my new album. And Will is like, man, bring it on. Will, he's like, bring it on.
Wow.
And then he's like, hey man, you could play some trumpet on it too. I said, okay. So like, my son and I, we're working together. I have a 24-year-old son who I'm really proud of. He just graduated from the Berklee College of Music.
Oh, wow.
And he's tight. He's my musical director. We co-produce stuff. He does all my charts and everything for me. So he brought me this idea, the idea for the music. And I said, man, this is hot, man. I can do something with this. So I got in the lab, and just really went deep, dug deep into it, and came out with the lyrics and the whole joint for the Butterflies. And then I called Will, and I'm like, Will, I got the song. And he's like, okay, send it, because he's not gonna put his voice on nothing that ain't 100 for him.
Yeah.
So man, I sent it to Will, man, and Will just fell in love with the song. Will fell in love with the joint.
I could tell. Wow.
Yeah, and we just went in. We went in, and he's just a consummate professional. And what I really like about Butterflies is not only the message, but just I think the atmosphere of the light and shade of our two voices. I'm a silky tenor vibe, and he's got that low baritone thing, and it just
meshed.
It just meshed.
Yeah.
The only thing I told Will was, I want you to go. I wanted to that. But other than that, brother, we just flowed in the studio, and I do think it's a masterpiece. I think it came out, and so we put it out. It was like a Valentine's Day. We wanted it for the ladies, but of course it's summer and it's far beyond Valentine's Day. But that was the essence. That's why we put it out. And it's been getting like rave reviews. We're top 50 on the R&B charts.
Wow.
And that's difficult. That's very, very difficult. If you're not a major label with major dollars, it is extremely difficult. So I'm really, really proud. We were number 2 in Buffalo, just on the string, string.
Yeah.
And again, it's been like it's been taking the R&B world by storm. And it's great for me because, I'm a singer, but I'm also a trumpet player.
Right.
So when we're marketing, this is the new album right here, by the way. This is called Afterplay. This is the new album right here, right?
Ooh, make sure y'all
After we play, yes, make sure you see that. Yeah.
After We Play. It's available. It's coming out March 17th. And let me tell you what's on this record right here. First of all, let me tell you, this is going to win a Grammy Award. You heard it first on your show.
That's what's up.
Yes.
That's what's up.
This is gonna win a Grammy Award. Okay, it's gonna win a Grammy Award. On this album, we have, of course, Will Downing. We have George Benson.
Oh.
We have Little Anthony.
Whoa.
We have Gerald Albright. We have Tom Brown, and we have a few more guests. But on my lead single on this album right here, we put it out 19 weeks ago, and it's the title track. It's called After We Play. And like I said, I'm a singer and trumpet player. So this first joint was a contemporary jazz, smooth jazz joint, instrumental. I didn't sing on it at all. And it's me, and it features Peter White on acoustic guitar. And I am really, really, really happy to say I'm so excited. I just flew in yesterday. My flight just came in yesterday, and from Florida. And as I woke up, and they were saying we're landing in LA, we're landing, to LA, so then I put my phone on just to see if I got any messages and stuff. And I got the first message I saw was from my radio promoter. And he says, "Congratulations, you hit #1 with this joint right here."
Wow.
I know. And I've written #1 songs before, a lot of #1 songs. I've written them for Boney James and different people, but I've never had a #1 on my own as an artist. And I'm telling you, bro, the rush is so heavy. I mean, like, I just got off the phone with Najee, and Najee's taking me to lunch tomorrow just to celebrate, the #1 status. And I am just really, really, really overjoyed, that we broke out the gate with a #1 hit single on the jazz tip, and we top 50 with Butterflies. And we just put Butterflies out right before Valentine's Day. So that's just about like 2-3 weeks ago. So of course that has a lot of legs to go. And again, I appreciate y'all, for jumping on it and supporting it and letting your people know. And I can't thank y'all enough.
Hey man, we have
man.
to, man. And just for a moment, man, just the lyrics to Butterfly and the vibe of it. Talk to us a little bit about, just what that means to you, and how did you come about writing it?
Well, like I said, my son gave me the initial, feeling. And when I write from feelings. And as you can see, I have a piano here. I got like pianos all over the place, but I'm a keyboard player, and I sing and play trumpet. And for me, like, lyrics come from the music. I always like write the music first, and then it'll give me, it'll give me a dark feeling, it'll give me a happy feeling, it'll give me a sunshine feeling. That's just the way I write. I kind of write in images, like colors. And when I started, when this music started coming together, I just thought about, the feelings of what a guy has for a girl. It's like butterflies. It's like, why do you give me butterflies? You know what I'm saying? When I'm not around. And it just, there's no method in the way that I write. It just kind of like flows. So when the spark hits for an idea for any of my songs, and of course I write and produce all of my songs, it's not a method. It really is a spontaneous moment. And if I don't grab that inspiration in that moment, I will lose it. So when Butterflies, when I started, when it started coming together, I'm like, oh, you just feel it, and that's the way I write, and that's the way Butterflies came together. And when it came together, I just thought Will is the perfect joint for Will and I to collab on. It's sexy. Will told me, you can play some trumpet on too, man. So, I had to put a little touch of the muted trumpet in there, to put it over the top. And that's just the way, it's not rocket science. It's just a vibe. And I think that all of us get butterflies, men and women, if you're sensitive to love.
Let me ask you a question. Did you record that you and Will record that in the same studio? Or did you send them the tracks? And
Yeah, I live in Los Angeles. I do all my recordings in Los Angeles, and Will is in New Jersey, outside of New York. And yes, I sent him the track with my lead, with my guide vocal. I said, well, this is the way it goes. These are the lyrics. Learn it, check it out, and take my vocal out and put yours in.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
even more crazier.
Yeah, and I think what's really crazy is because when you listen to the song, it sounds like we were right in the same room across from each other,
yeah,
vibing.
yeah.
But, I think that I think that really says a lot to the artistry of a Will Downing and myself, because we can be really, really sensitive on how we communicate musically with each other as vocalists. So it was so much fun for me. And I do want to say that we were supposed to do a video for Butterflies. I just finished doing the Capitol Jazz Cruise. I had a very successful shows there. Actually, I opened up for Lettucey.
Nice.
I did my Marvin Meets Miles show, and just so many people told me that we were dynamite. I was dynamite with everything, and I sold totally out of this album. What I did a rush. I did a rush on it. It's not available. I mean, you could actually get it at johnnybritt.com if you really wanted, do a signed autograph copy. You can just go to johnnybritt.com right now. But like I said, it doesn't officially come out until March 17th, but we put a rush on it so we can have them for the cruise. And man, I was the top seller of everybody on the cruise.
Wow.
Totally out. And I mean, this is no dag to anybody else, but I'm just saying that, like, Kim was on the show, Eric Benet was on the show, Stokely. I mean, everybody. Like I said, I opened for Lettucey. BB Winans was on the show, Corinne Bailey Ray. And for them to tell me, I sold the most and sold out of my stuff was a great testament. And that was my first time ever doing the Capitol Jazz Cruise. So what I did was we put the rush on the CD, and for the cruise, I called it a Capitol Jazz release because only the people on the cruise could get it. So they got it. Got it. Yeah, they got it. And orders are coming in, pre-orders are coming in. So we certainly appreciate it at johnnybritt.com, but you cannot get it anywhere in the world until March 17th.
Wow, man.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the other artists you have on there. You mentioned Gerald Albright, right?
Yeah, I was kind of eavesdropping on you guys before I came on here. And I know you guys are missing, man, we're missing some funk. We're missing some funk, and we're missing the funk, and you were saying some stuff about the funk.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you the very first song on this album is called Ain't Nothing But the Funk. The first song.
Crazy. Wow.
And it's me and Tom Brown.
Woo! Oh my God. Wow.
We giving it to you. It's called Ain't Nothing But the Funk. We did it on the ship, and it just tore the house down.
Wow.
So I'm telling you, you asked for some funk.
The funkin' for Jamaica, Tom Brown.
Yeah, funk Tom Brown. And this song is called Ain't Nothing But the Funk.
Wow.
That's what it is. Okay. And that, just to let you know, my marketing team, we're planning on releasing that as a single to radio this summer. After, of course, after we plays doing this thing at #1, Butterflies, we're going up the charts. We top 50. Everything's got to run its course. Then after that, we're going to drop that joint this summer. One of the songs. There's a lot of great songs on here. Ain't Nothing But the Funk. #2 is After We Play, which is #1 right now as we speak. Yeah. #3 is Butterflies, featuring Will Downing. Of course, After We Play featured Peter White. And then Summer Love features Gerald Albright, the song #4. And it's a summer anthem. I mean, it's a summer anthem. And when I called Gerald Albright, to be on my album, we decided for him to play bass on it. And, He's a tremendous bass player. Yeah, he was a bass player for Anita Baker, and just that whole thing.
Wow.
And like what he gave me back on the bass, it was lights out. So this song is called "Summer Love." It is a summer anthem. It's actually my kids' favorite song because it's got that it's got that vibe on it. And then I have a song called "Ocean Waves," which is an amazing song. It's Ocean Waves. It's like basically asking the ocean for answers about how you're feeling, about love, etc. And it's featuring an amazing bass player by the name of Blair Bryant. You may not know.
We had Blair Bryant on the show. Yeah.
Okay, good. With this cat, lights out. The story behind that was crazy. We just played the San Diego Jazz Festival together, right? And Najee played before I came on, before us. And I was talking to, I think, the drummer, the keyboard player from Najee. And I'm like, who's in the band? Because as a musician, I always want to know who's in the band. And he goes around to me, everybody in the band, and he says, on bass, got Blair Bryant. And I stopped because I love this cat. I never met him. He's from Kansas City.
Yeah.
I said, man, where is he? He says, he's right over there. He said, he's right over there. I said, can you introduce me to him? Man, he said, yeah, come on. So he takes me to Blair. And man, I said, hey, Blair, my name is Johnny Britt. And man, this cat says, Johnny Britt. He's like, man, I listen to your Marvin Meets Miles album every day. And I was shocked. I think he said, I listened to I Want You, my version of Marvin, my Marvin Meets Miles. He says, I listen to it every day. And I'm like, and he's like, man, I love your vibe. And I'm in the middle of my album. And I'm like, hey, man, I would love for you to play on my album. He says, Johnny, I'll do anything. He was just so, you could just feel it. You could feel.
That's amazing. Yeah.
You can feel when that love is there, when that passion, it ain't no tug of war.
Yes, what's up? Yeah.
Man, and when I gave him this track, I was on the floor when I got it back.
Wow.
On the floor. Wait till you hear it. I mean, it's called Ocean Waves. I'm going through the album. And then song number 6 is Walk On By. I did that. If you see me in the 1965, Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick, yeah.
And I put the Johnny Britt on it. That's all I can say. It's actually when you write songs, they're all like your babies.
Yes.
Which one is your favorite? But this song is, I could see me like walking out on stage on this, right? Because it's got such a vibe. It's just you got to check it out. That's Walk On By. Then we have Hold On, Be Strong, which features Ricky Peterson. You may not know him, but he's one of the top session keyboard players in the world. And he's out of Minnesota. And again, he just said, hey, man, whatever you need. And of course, you got to hear it to believe it. It's just like lights out. And then we have a song called Let's Do This, which I'm getting ready to shoot the video for on Friday, in a couple of days, 2 or 3 days from this week. And it's a strong song. This is one of my it's going to be the follow-up to After We Play. So it's instrumental, and it's me, and it's featuring Nils on guitar. And it's like it's funky. It's like an Earth, Wind and Fire, blah blah blah. But it's not Earth, Wind and Fire. But you get what I'm saying. It's killing. That's a second single. That's gonna be coming out, just so you know, April, like around April 20th. In April, we had to push it back because the After We Play album is blowing up so much. They said you can't mess with that. We gotta push after the next one. Let's Do This. We gotta push it back. So we pushed it back, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And then, man, I'm gonna tell you. We're doing the next song on this record. I know it's going to blow y'all away. This is the one that features George Benson. And it features Little Anthony.
That's what I wanted to get to. Yeah.
No, listen, check this out. The song is going out of my head.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So listen to me. We're going for a Grammy Award on this joint. We're going for a Presidential Award. We're going for a Lifetime Achievement Award. I just think this song is the sleeper because this song has sold over 5 million
Yeah.
albums, right? Frank Sinatra has done this song.
Yes. Yes.
Luther Vandross has done this song. Ella Fitzgerald has done this song. I mean, everyone has
Such a
done
big song. Yeah.
big song. So it's a big song already.
Yeah.
Check this out. No one has ever sang a duet with Little Anthony.
Wow.
Little Anthony is 82 years old, and
Whoa.
he sounds amazing. So the fact that I got him in the studio, I did my rendition of Going Out of My Head. We got George Benson in here. I mean, I just think that everything is just there. Everything is there for television. I mean, this is like one of our last living legend lead singers.
Oh yeah.
Right. So that's a song that, that's song number 9, Going Out of My Head. And then, the album is killing. I mean, I can go on and on, but it is really, I think it's my best work yet. And it's called After We Play. Comes out the 17th of March. And I really appreciate, your support, guys, and support all of your fans. We're doing this like Prince wanted us to, independent, independent art.
Yes.
And we're grinding, and just the fact that I cracked the top 50 with Butterflies, on a small budget, we're on the charts with people with $100,000 budgets.
That's what's crazy about it.
That's what it's called. So our goal was to make it to the top 50 on the R&B charts, and we've done that. With this song. So again, I really do appreciate, your support. And I can't thank, Will enough, because he's so supportive. He's going to come out here and we'll get a video done. And it's doing this thing, man. And again, I can't thank you guys enough.
And we thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sid. You wanted to ask something?
Well, I'm just saying, I just can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
They'll be streaming that on all platforms.
Everywhere, worldwide. Yeah, I just signed a new distribution deal with Sony Orchard that we're extremely excited about. So it's we have the marketing in place, we have the distribution in place, we have worldwide distribution physically and digitally, and have a very hot show. We're doing a record release party. We're doing it here. The first one is here in Los Angeles, March 26th at the Venice West. And if you live in Los Angeles, please come out. And it's going to be off the chain. We're going to have another CD release party the 28th of March in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Middle C Jazz Club. And then from there, we're going to Raleigh, Richmond, Virginia, I'm sorry, for the Tin Pan, and that's April 1st. A couple things I do want to make an announcement about is I'm doing a 60 city tour with Little Anthony this summer, starting at the end of May. It's called the Happy Together Tour, and it's a monster. We're going like all over the country. And of course, I'm going to be promoting the Going Out of My Head with Little Anthony and I, as we're doing that run. And I also want to make you guys aware that I have a book that I've been working on for about 2 years now, and it will be coming out April 17th.
What's the book about?
It's called The Soloist. And it's my life, where my life starting playing trumpet in Cleveland, Ohio. I started with Arsenio Hall. We were in a band together. He was playing drums in concert band. I was playing first trumpet. We started a band together. We had dreams of leaving the inner city of Cleveland and becoming entertainers ourselves. From there, I was blessed to study at the Conservatoire de Versailles, just outside of Paris, France, with the first trumpet player from the Paris Opera, the Paris Opera. So I did that, signed my first contract in Paris, France. From there, I went to Chicago, where I got my degree, and my big break came when Otis Williams of the Temptations discovered me as their youngest ever musical director, which led me to become the co-music producer for the Emmy Award-winning film The Temptations, as well as the legendary Little Richard story. So it's all in the book. It's it's my autobiography, which I am thrilled, and I'd like to thank Arlene Krieger, who's the writer of the book. And we're very, very excited, and we want to share that with the world as well.
Man, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. That's so crazy to me, because I'm hearing you say, I mean, you've done a whole bunch of stuff. You've been in the game for so long, and I still hear you say first. There's first. Yeah. I mean, you must be on cloud 9 right about now. That's crazy.
Yeah, I really am. It's funny. I just got off the phone with Najee right before you guys called, and he was just congratulating me. And he was like, bro, you know, you've been in the game a long time. Because, you know, he remembers me with Impromptu. I was signed to Motown, Mojazz Records. And, you know, he was just really proud of me, you know, for you know, staying the course.
Yeah, wow.
You know, just hanging, you know, staying in there, and always like advice. People kind of ask me for advice, and I say, you know, if you want to get into this thing and give it like a year or two, go get a day job, because that's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. So, you know, I've learned a lot, been through a lot, but I've stayed true to who I am as an artist. And, you know, old fans, and which I like to thank, and of course, my new fans are just really digging the music. And I cannot thank you guys enough for this exposure.
Man, Johnny, you always welcome, man. This platform is always open to you.
Yeah.
You're legendary in this game. And I just know the people are in for a great treat, man. I mean, this is going to be a classic album of music, man. You got some really great musicians and artists on it. And so everybody out there, make sure you stream this album. You want to get it. You don't want to be without it. Have it in your library.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, if you guys can follow me, join my YouTube page, subscribe, follow me. I'll follow you back on Instagram, right? YouTube, Facebook. It's everything is Johnny Britt. Everything is Johnny Britt, but on Facebook it's Johnny Britt Music. Everything else is Johnny Britt. Twitter, Johnny Britt Music on Facebook, Johnny Britt on Instagram, Johnny Britt on YouTube, and of course JohnnyBritt.com. You can always go there to see everything, the behind the scenes, you know, what we're doing, and of course the radio show that we have, and the new book that's coming right after the new album. So it's all there, and I really appreciate the support.
Johnny, thank you so much.
Thank you, Johnny.
Always a pleasure to have you on.
Man, y'all the best. Still feel butterflies